Sirach 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out all the wisdom of the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. Okay? So meaning you're going to be in this word. Along with doing the work, you're going to be in this word. Okay? You're gonna be looking at the prophecies, linking the prophecies up to what's going on in the times that we're living in now, and then breaking down those prophecies to the people so they know and they can be ready for what's coming. All right, because that's the other thing. It says in Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, as well as the 33rd chapter, I believe, it says that I think it's the 13th chapter. It says basically, if we don't warn the wicked to turn from their wicked ways, all right, if they die, then their blood is on our hand. But if we warn that wicked man and he dies, then his blood is on his hand. Or you warn the wicked and he turns from his ways, then that man is saved. All right. So if we don't go out there and tell the people, break down the scriptures concerning the martial law, the concentration camps, the torture, all right, all the devices of the wicked, the so-called white man, all right, if we don't warn how he's going to come down upon our people, if we don't warn our people of that and they get caught up, then that's on our hands. All right? So that's another aspect of it. That's another aspect of occupying. Okay? You got to know what's going on in this Bible as well as what's going on around the earth. All right? And filter everything what's going on through this Bible, through the scriptures. Okay? So now I'm going to come back to Luke, but first I'm going to go to 1 Corinthians 4:1. We're going to get those for that word scripture. Word steward. This is 1 Corinthians 4:1. Let a man so account of us as the ministers of Hamashiach Yahushai and stewards of the mysteries of the Most High. Like I said, the word steward basically means someone who is put in charge of a household by a higher authority. All right. Hey, the elected Israel, that's the house. All right. And so you've got the governing body, or you got those who are put in charge, the prophets out there, the 144 out there preaching the word. All right, because not everybody's going to be of the 144. You're going to have some that are the 1/3. All right, those who believe. Okay, so we got to teach them. So that's why we're put as stewards of the Most High, of the mysteries, breaking down the mysteries. Not everybody knows that Job 9:24 is talking about the so-called white man. It's talking about Caesar Borgia in particular. All right. Not everybody knows that Revelation 2:9 and 3:9 is talking about those gutter rats. All right. Not everybody knows that Jeremiah 14:2 is talking about so-called Negroes. All right. So we got to teach our people that. Okay. It says here, verse 2. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. Okay, so you got to be faithful. You got to do what the Lord has told you to do. Back in Luke 19th chapter, he plainly told his servants to occupy until he comes. All right, till Yahushua makes his second return, we got to be doing what? Occupying. All right. And another point I want to make is you don't do too much. There is a such thing as going overboard. All right, now let me clarify that. Proverbs the 25th chapter says, "Hast thou found honey, eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit." All right, the Most High requires you to do what you can do. All right, no more, no less. Now you are supposed to go hard. We're going to get that in Baruch 4. All right, you're supposed to give it your all. All right, but don't go nuts trying to, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You'll burn yourself out. Okay, you'll burn yourself out. All right, so that's what I mean by when I say you can overdo it. All right, but while you're in this thing, give it the best you got. All right, if you're just out there preaching on the highways and the byways, as long as you do it in sincerity and in truth, that's enough. All right, and if you can afford to do something extra, like sit downs, all right, during the week, whether it be like, sitting down sitting down like I am now, or some brothers do with the Camtasia. That's how I do it most of the times. All right, walking talks like the elders kicked off. Also in transits like the elders kicked off. Alright? If you can do that as well, cool. Alright? But do what the Lord requires of you and occupy till he comes back. Alright? In whichever way you can do it. Alright? Now, let's go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Alright? This ain't going to be a very long lesson. We're doing this. Why are we? In fact, before I read that scripture, we're doing this work for a reason. We're not just doing this just to do it. Alright? And if you are someone out there who's doing this, preaching this word just to do it, alright, just because it looks like it's the end thing right now, alright, if you ain't got no reason in your mind as to why you're doing this, then you might need to check yourself or check out. Okay? We're out here doing this work, putting in time for a particular reason, alright? And I'm going to explain it. The Lord's going to explain it here in Matthew 19. It says here, Matthew 19 and 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? So that was, that wasn't, he wasn't being wicked in asking that. He wanted to know. We've forsaken all, wives, women, children, family, alright, whatever you were into before coming into this thing, we forsook all that. So, what's going to be the reward? It says here, verse 28, Yahushua said unto them, Verily, or truly, I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones of Israel. 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, there's the name, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. Alright? But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So if you forsake all that you had before coming into this truth, whatever you're into, your family, your friends, alright, all that, your children, wife, all that, and all of us on some level has lost something when coming into this truth. I personally had a lot of friends, not a whole lot of friends, but I had quite a few friends where I could hang out with. It was damn near a weekly basis. This one week, friends would come over and we, play Xbox or something, alright? And then later on that week, I'd go out to the pool hall and, party with some friends and just hang out and we drink and shoot pool. Something, That's what I was doing. That don't happen no more. That rarely happens. Alright, every now and then I might go out with a couple friends. We might go to a pool hall or something. That's about as far as I take it. And that don't happen very often. Alright? So we've all lost something, no matter how small or great. But guess what? You're getting a reward regardless by putting in this work. Putting in time and doing this work. Okay? It says here, 1 Corinthians 15 verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast and unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Alright? Always abounding. Okay? You just keep it going. And it says be steadfast and unmovable, meaning you don't let nothing draw you from your path. Alright? The path we gotta walk is thin as it is, right? It says that enter ye in the straight gate. Alright? And it says in Esdras, the book of 2nd Esdras, that the path that we got on one side the burning fire and the other side the deep water, it said that path we gotta walk is so thin that only one person could walk it at a time. So you have to be unmovable and steadfast in this thing, because anything can knock you off. Alright? Anything can knock you off. Now if you're a man that's gonna get back up, fine, but you gotta be, it's best not to take that chance. Alright? Scripture says that a just man falleth 7 times and get it back up again, but the wicked falleth into mischief. Okay? So it's best not to take that chance. Just do what you can do. Alright? This isn't just a thing, a spectator thing. Get involved. They even tell you in school or high school or whatever, get involved. Do something, There's something that you can contribute to this thing. Alright? We're going to go back in Luke to talk about that. It says here, Therefore, my beloved, this is back in 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Therefore, my beloved,